So, well, this is the final year, and well, so to end this final year and everything else and whatnot, and I decided why not to go talk about my list of death battle ideas. Yep, I feel like talking about the list of death battle ideas that I had on my DVR account. So, yeah, this this was in writing a few years, and I remember posting it, and it was end up finishing it by January. I didn't really have much of a list to write, and yeah, these are kind of predictions, and I want to write something like, well, so I want to talk about is, well, my list of depot ideas. So when season 7 is going to come out, and sorry,
Son, you need anything? Drink or water or anything?
Hey, can you prepare the drinks for the New Year's party?
What party?
No, for the New Year's, like, ending, the toast.
A toast? There's only just pour the juice and that's all lah. Pour the juice and Yakult, that's what you are.
Anyways, Happy New Year's, Mom. Tell Dad that Happy New Year's.
If Daddy is there, you go tell him lah. Let me have a look at your hand.
Uh, one
put,
sec,
Yeah?
sorry, I'm in.
Finish your coffee. Yeah, are you okay? How come you're coughing this way?
Sorry, it's just that I'm having a bit of a phlegm inside. Oh, sorry, back to the review. So, yeah, let's just talk about it. So, yeah, let's talk about my list of Death Bell ideas that may be potentially for Season 7. I might do an updated version of this, but, yeah, why not? And please note, this was made before this was made some quite some time ago, somewhere around late 2018, somewhere around December 2018. And, well, it took a couple months to finish shit until June 3rd at 2019. So, yeah, let's just talk about my death idea. So let me get the list one. I'm gonna get a pick fight obvious one, get myself connection. But yeah, by the way, this second rule is more important. I want to make sure that the series is done as well as have their final season or have a final season. And if it's from a video game, if it was a video game character, I would feel like waiting for their video game to. If it would, I would wait for at least a video game to get finished. Would have to wait at least 3 weeks after their release is released, mainly just to get mostly a lot of the stuff out of the way. Stud, I am not getting any joke battles. Obviously, I hate joke battles. I don't know, screw it, I can both do it. It's just, joke battles are not my cup of tea. No, I like the Deathbell. I do like the Deathbell versus Mass Fight. It's a really funny one, by the way, but still, I'm still not really liking joke battles. 4, this is going to be based on personal opinions. 5, personal opinions and picks. 5, I am not going to be having any rematches. And 6, I'm not gonna tell who's gonna win in that. I just wanted to see, and mainly because I don't do much research on characters other than look up wiki. So first one, anyways, let's just get on the first fight. Alright, let's go. Let me get a scientist with the best match to fight a princess from Muni. And then I just play like the clip. And then play Rabbit, Tank, best match. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna play the clip. And also play Star Firefly coming out from the portal. So yeah, Shoujo Q. Center. Kurio versus Star Butterfly. I originally disagree on this fight at first, but that's also okay. I never watched much of Build. I also like the first episode and also the ending, but yeah, I really need to think about watching the end. Though, yeah. Now you may be wondering, what about Steven Universe? Okay, yeah, okay. Well, Steven Universe would be on this list. Okay, yeah, this was written before, but I'll just read it anyways of why I didn't want it back then. Steven Universe hasn't finished yet. And because I have a lot of connections, I'll do this later, which I listed. And obviously, I just want to cover in Death Battle. Just something a little different from Power Rangers have being always on 24/7. And though I do feel like Super Sentai characters, and I would like to see a Power Ranger win one day. Anywho, let's just get on with it. So the connections, both are skilled fighters, but a bit goofy and naive. Both having many armies, arsenal of spells and slash forms, and weaponry with unique way to use every single one of them. Build has full bottles, which, for those wondering, full bottles are kind of, well, the main thing about it. Mostly there'll be basically one based on living and the other being non-living things, particularly animals or machinery. Like, well, for example, the default form is rabbit and a tank because they have unique movement. And yeah, though despite the fact that Bill has a lot of forms, he later on after he acquired Rabbit and Tank, he's different and also genius. But yeah, that's something. Both having a best friend who's preferred to hand-to-hand combat. Yeah, maybe I'll do a separate death battle between Ryuga, not the Kama Ryuga Banjo. Yeah, he's a different society when you think about it. Just like, yeah, no, not to be confused with the other Kama Ryuga, the evil version of Kama Ryuki, the Dark Rider version of Kama Ryuki. So, yeah. Seriously, did any of these guys not check their names? I'm not using. Yeah, they should have just checked the names. And Marco, both having a female friend, obviously Ponyhead and Miss respectively, and honestly, I don't hate Ponyhead, by the way. Really, I don't really get much hate with Ponyhead. I kind of like her. Both act childish, both have evil relatives who use the powers and weapons. Both have evil family members, both find a relation about their secret identities, and both having their both Earths emerge too. What do you mean, Earths? No, for this, I'm also going to put some conditions of this fight. For this fight, I'm going to use mostly all from before the last episode until they probably confirm a special thing for our powers and maybe in a funny little in a special or two. Maybe I'll do an updated version in case the special happens because obviously I would like to see a special. Probably maybe with a true Epic Walk special or something like Steam's Future gets, but yeah, well. So for this fight, I'm going to use mostly builds. I'm going to let Bill use all forms, except for the his movie exclusive form, which requires Ryuga to be here. So unfortunately, I can't use that one for the fight. Secondly, the fight cannot. That will require a bit of outside help. Secondly, I am leaning towards Star will probably use. I would consider giving him both his wand and hand magic powers because well, obviously I wanted to go with more of a compact version as well as having a lot of feats from Though I'm gonna mostly stick with the TV show canon for now, unless the comics are confirmed to be canon. Unless I don't know if the comics are canon or not. So anywho, that's pretty much what I would expect to see this fight. Next is, well, Banavi. Let's get a boy from the dog from the and a girl and a dog from an anime. Yeah, I don't watch Origami Got Killed, so I don't know what the line is. Okay. Yeah, I feel like this is a 2v2 fight. It's been a while since we had a 2v2 fight. The last one we had was right. The last one you ever had was, well, obviously. Ratchet and Clank versus Jack and Daxter. So I would like to see another 2v2 death battle come into the show, obviously. And I would like to see a 2v2 battle. And I also like that battle. I hope we see more 2v2 death battles. On this. So let's start with finisher. Defenders of their respective kingdoms. Finn being Ooh and Shuro whatever kingdom I never watched. Though one of them is a great. Shuro's kind of Shirio. I can't remember that name. Is a crazy one. 6-2 Spanish Evil. Both have family problems. Finn with his dad and Shuro with his parents dead. Lost their arms during a fateful night and eventually had their limbs replaced with it. I got one. Sure. You're Shiro, I can't pronounce her name right. Obvious. Just have her mechanical answer. Finn a lot later in the show, and yeah, for the fight purposes, I am going to go with more after the show. And while I admit Distant Lands is a thing, I'm probably going to think about before Distant Lands, as because there may be some things that, unless Distant Lands gives him new feats, then okay. Which lost Finn lost it mainly later on in the show. Oh, maybe after a reboot. And tell the burst out of emotions at times. Yeah, for this fight, I'm going to include all Finn, including all his weaponry and all the swords and bows and arrows. I'm not going to include the one-time abilities he used like once in the show, as I feel like I want to go with something of an even battle. Yeah, okay. Then we go to Jake and Koto. Jake, yeah, so they both are okay. So both have abilities to change their shapes and sizes and shades at will, while was basically Koro will basically he changes ability basically becoming a beast size and whatnot. Jake is pretty much just a doll. Okay, yeah, I'm spoiling slightly, and obviously he has more of a shape shifting as ability. Compared to the two human above, pretty much a carrying companion to the humans above, which, yeah, they're obviously more best buds mostly. Though Finn and Jake were more brothers, more brothers-like. Willing to more fight often than not fight alone with the human partners, since they can fight alone and are much stronger than human partner, though I do feel like Jake has a bit of an upper advantage. And now, for the fight purposes, I'm going to go with mostly post-Adventure Time show. I'm going to stay somewhere after the events of Come Along With Me. I'm not using Distant Lands for now, as that show hasn't finished yet, as that hasn't appeared in Max yet, and I don't really have much of it feeds to it. I might watch it, but I'm not considering watching it right now. Maybe when I feel convinced and try to get, and yeah, maybe I'll try to do it. Yeah, sorry, I'm just... Also, yeah... yeah, I really use Distant Lands speed-wise, but in case of any new information with Finn and then Jake, that is not one-time use, but oh well. Then we get to next one. Let's call two boys who say so. And phrase to become powerful. He-Man versus Shazam. Yeah, Cole McGrath is too one-sided. Applies to Thor 2. Captain Marvel, but weak connections because they used to have on the name Marvels in the name. And yeah, this was made, and yeah. By the way, this file was made back in November 22nd, 2018, before the actual. And while I admit I don't hate Captain Marvel, I liked her. And then again, yeah, though Brendan Larson looks pretty hot, even though you probably hate her. Yeah, probably Frozen Free. I just feel it was a lot better fight than probably what we got. Next one, I'm just gonna get this one. Duke Nukem versus Serious Sam. Yeah, this was the one I wanted. Big boy is with big guns. Of course, I'm just gonna go. So, yeah, Duke Nukem versus Serious Sam. So, yeah. Both are one-man armies, both fought the invaders, both have big arsenals of weaponry, both a lot of one-liners, and physical strength. Yeah, for this fight, I am most likely going with an I. Most likely, this fight, I feel like for this fight, I am going to say for this fight, I feel like both of them will be having all the arsenals from every single game they have been in, of every single oh, main and spin-off series, by the way. I'm going to be using both the main and spin-off series, by the way. The reason I'm mostly to go with a more epicer fight. Also, I want to also include. Also, for this fight, I am not including gear, any gears they probably have, but I'll just include it just in case. Next. Yeah, I think I forgot to finish up this right up in each race for this line or accidentally deleted. So this fight. So Jake Long versus Jupiter Lee. I watched Rich American Dragon when I was all younger. I also watched some episodes of Jupiter Lee, but yeah, I didn't watch that much. And yeah, these two shows are quite familiar too. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I remember these two shows are quite familiar. Yeah, and I'm also thinking about American Dragon. Yeah, actually, yeah. So similarities. Both are Chinese American teenagers being there. Yeah, probably that. Both protectors of the magical world, and both of them having something from their backstories. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it. I recommend watching those two. For this fight, I'm gonna go with all of them after the show ended, and yeah, just normal, obvious. Next, another one. Let me please get a wizard. And a private detective is also a wizard. So, yeah, just play the wizard henshin. Just look for wizard's henshin. Or wizard henshin, and you will probably know who it is. And Harry, and then, those are the shadows. Yeah, how does Kamar Wizard versus Henry around the dark files. Yeah, this was an idea. This is we're getting into some newer ideas I'm putting on this list. I feel for those wondering if I will ever play Harry Potter and Avatar or Aang, and then I'm just gonna say kick, strike, boom. Yeah, no. I feel personally, I feel there are more weaker connections. Okay. So there's the connections. Both are magic user with sticks. Okay, maybe not really. Okay. Okay, I think I really still forgot to. Okay, yeah, maybe. Oh, right, no. Well, one of them are magic users, and well, okay, I think both with magic users. Well, wizard mostly uses ring magic to help deal with being a ring magic wizard. So one side is basically keeping strength two different forearms, while the other is basically. Oh, sorry, 1 second. I need to burn something real quick. Not that. While the other side of his rings are more based on basic core magic. using the civilian form, and only one of them is basically able to turn on the driver itself. Yeah, Commoners use drivers to transform their somewhat smarty personalities who protect the innocent mortals in secret. Yeah, I think that was something I. Both are trench coat, but primary uses of fire elemental magic. Yeah, Wizard's base form is fire, and well, yes, his design is similar to a trench coat. Wields magic rings, obviously Wizard, like I said earlier about the Wizard. Have fondness with donuts, and also having a basically working with a nonsense police woman, Yuki, and also young apprentice. For this fight, I am going to only use every single form of Wizard. Return, I would say up to the White Knight, up to the skin game, after the skin game, as well as feats from his side stories and whatnot. Side stories and briefcases. Yes, I am going to most likely use those feats as well. Yeah. Next, or it's gun singing time. Yeah, that's the Stampedo. Oh, yeah. I am not. Let's see. Haven't seen Trigun. So yeah, obvious love donuts, both way colored guns. Obviously, that are our main weapons. Well, Wizard basically can turn that into a sword. And red. I want to say that. And having a happy personality hiding something deeper. Yeah, for that, I'm just gonna yeah. Same rules as last time. Forward. Now, then we get to the next one. Yeah, obviously after watching like maybe Inuyasha. So, Dante versus Inuyasha. So obvious both similarities are both are half born, half demon, wear red, have white hair, both use swords, both for red colors, and both hit towards their elder brother. So, so yeah, and yeah, I obviously know that. Yeah, I got this fight one day because after watching a few episodes of Inuyasha, I went, you know what? This is going to be a great death battle. And obviously, because, hey, I like Dante, and also hope Dante makes it into Smash. I'm saving at least 1 or 2 spots for Steve for Minecraft and Smash. Anyway, back to the review. Then this fight. I got it. So, this one is kind of just time for the blue heroes to spin. Slice. Yeah, you can just record this out. But I feel like, yeah. Well, time for the next fight being, well, Sonic the Hedgehog versus Mega Man. This is actually, funny thing about this fight, I got inspiration from Nostalgia Critic himself, actually. In his beginning review, and he said he was just commenting on how Sonic is basically a furry version of Mega Man because they're basically both, yeah, obviously I am going to list the connections that kind of fit this. Also incorrect. So let me talk about similarities. Small Blue Heroes. Both of them stop the doctors who were making robots to take over the world, obvious. Has a sidekick, well, basically he said dog, though Tails is technically Tails is a fox. Female friend, though they say girl. I don't say girlfriend because Roll is basically Rock's sister, Mega Man's Rock, aka Mega Man's sister, and Sonic is assigned to Amy. And both use power-ups. And also the last one he said was, yeah, he said the following. He said also the tendency was really hate, like, okay, this sounds a little face. Mega Man has mostly good sequels, and Sonic, aside from Sonic 06, and aside from Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic 06, no, also having a mixed bag of whether good or bad at Sonic games, Unleashed, but okay. So for this fight, I'm going to be using all power. I'm just going to probably just use one of the. I'm just going to say I'm going to use the same one how death, but though, yeah. I'm just going to use the feats from Sonic as from basically the newer games. Just in case. And Mega Man. And Mega Man, I'm gonna say all the power up. I'm just gonna say probably an updated version. I'm gonna say updated to 11, to Mega Man 11. Okay, I need to go quick water break. Be right back. Okay, back to yeah, obviously. One sec. I need to probably get some more. Okay, so then we get to Karka. So the next one, let's get the moon and the Karka. So yeah, Karka Sakura versus Sailor Moon. I know their real names, but I feel I just like to call them like. So obviously, yeah, I didn't get that much similarities for this one. Both 90s, both most popular magical girls, and both of them are from the 90s. I didn't had much to write for this one. And yeah, I already covered their own both magical girl month reviews, but I feel it was a bit of an old shame a bit. Yeah, this is why I really need to write a script for. This is why I should write scripts instead of using Wikipedia pages. Maybe I'm just not really good at trying to. I just like to go unscripted personal opinion reviews. Anywho, back to the reviews. So yeah, obviously for these fights, I am going to go by their final seasons. I'm not going to use Card Clear as I'm thinking currently at the time of recording. The last time I checked it hasn't finished yet, but I might check if it was finished. So I'm going to probably use Posed. I'm going to probably for this fight. I'm not going to go with the newer the sequel series as I didn't feel like bringing up the sequel series mainly because I don't. No, I'm not bringing up Card Clear for this review for this fight as currently I'm just going to go with as I at the time of recording last time I checked I isn't complete yet. I'm the also Sailor Moon. I'm gonna probably use the original series. I'm gonna use the original series. I'm not using Crystal as I never had much complete. Yeah, it's more or less a reboot, but yeah, I'm just going. So yeah, that's pretty much that. Anyways, Night Battle. I just chose a little bit rant. No, that's welcome to one of my second new ideas. So, this is the Marvel versus Star Wars fight. So next one is Sid Bannon versus Yoda. I can't remember this fan characters. So yeah, these two characters they're both assassins slash mafia slash outlaws. Both are skilled either sniper rifle, swords, daggers, and even an arrow. And both anti-hero hunters. For these fights, I'm gonna go with more. Well, I'm gonna go cinema. Probably the movie, TV show, any. For that fight, I'm gonna probably use whatever canon material that. Yeah, I'm gonna be probably using a lot of Star Wars canon material. By the way, I'm only gonna be using a lot of Star Wars canon material. Since ever since they bought Star Wars, ever since Disney bought Star Wars. And yeah, unless assuming you can know what is canon and what is not canon, and you also have to know what is canon and what's not. And then yeah. And while Star Wars is in yeah, I know. By the way, if anyone asks me, no, I never watched Forces of Nature, by the way. And while it's more basically focusing on more of the female characters of the Star Wars franchise, no, I haven't saw a single episode of any of the Force of Destiny. I am going to feel like, though I remember first time hearing about this, everyone kind of was a bit too HJW a bit. It maybe I'll Yeah. Anyway, back to the fight. For this fight, I'm going to for Silva, I'm gonna go with whatever cannon material of what is mostly his cannon feet. So no, I am not including. So yeah, that. Oh, sorry, I'm just looking through the Star Wars. What is canon? Looking through the Star Wars thing of what is canon, what's not canon. This is, yeah. So yeah, that is probably yeah. I'm gonna probably just use mostly his comic book feats and next 10. Well, probably this fight. I feel Care Black, Care White versus his fate and no. I honestly was looking for a Precure death battle for this one, and honestly, why not? I feel like Precure needs some love being the current very popular magical role, although I do feel like it's kind of underrated. Both are basically like his fates and yeah, both are overall duos, and both of them are big, like bigger and strong monsters on a weekly basis. And both of them are more. Yeah, though for this fight, I'm gonna probably. Though for this fight, I'm gonna go with Max Heart Feet. Though I'm going to use basically Max Heart Feats. And no, I am not using. And no, I'm just gonna probably use whatever later on series later on the timelines are gonna be happening. Now to our final two. Next is I feel like bringing these ones. So let's go take any character who lost in Death Battle. So yeah, let's bring well I feel like this is kind of obvious for a fight I wanted. Shadow versus Wario. Yeah, both are anti-heroes, the main protagonists, and both having spin-off games or about either about one. Shadow got Shadow Hedgehog, and Wario has like his own Wario. I'm gonna use mostly Shadow. I'm mostly gonna use a lot of his feet from Death Battle feet. Yeah, I'll just use the existing thing / updated versions. Next one, or Ryoma, or Shadow versus Ryoma. Yeah, I thought, why not? Both edgy, both black color scheme, both who are experimenting on birth for using alien genes, both received their they were descended from, and both having golden forms. Yep. Yeah, for this fight, obvious existing shadow feats. Remember, I would say up until the final all after the show feeds and last one. So, last one. Prince Zuko versus Shirotowa. Yeah, this one is kind of obvious if you have watched either Avatar or My Everything. Yeah, pretty much that. I watch both shows, but no, the similarities, if you have watched both shows, you probably. Yeah, just look at the Wikipedia for sure, and you will find out why. Yeah, they have similar. This is going to be the most similar thing. So yeah. Okay, so let's talk about some honorable mentions and probably go with updated versions of them Shogo Tara or Comrade Zio versus Ursa Scarlet. This is one of my earlier death battle ideas, and this was one of my earlier ideas of a fight. I wanted to, well, at the time I look at their armor abilities and go, yeah, I want to death battle that. Yeah, nowadays after Grand Zio, despite getting a little bit pushover, like Bill Genius. But personally, I feel like after Bill G, yeah. But also at the count in consideration of Omizio, yeah. Due to that, I'm still not. But Dragon Ball versus Natsu, yeah. I don't know research of Fairy Tail, but I feel like Dragon Ball is much powerful than Natsu. Even in the end couldn't defeat him. Yeah, I'm planning on using that. Star Butterfly versus Steven Universe with Outside Help with Marco and Akane respectively. Mainly because the show really. Because, well, this was during the time the Steven Universe hasn't finished yet. But for this fight, I am going to use the feat. For this fight, I'm going to. Yeah, but you know what? Now I feel. So, yeah, both are probably Akane main protagonist. Both characters use magic. Both characters fight evil. Both have basically either companion / love interest. So this fight, I'm going to use feats before future. I'm thinking to be using feats sometime after the movie as future. So I'm going to use pre-future or pre-movie and future for now. I'm going to somewhere going to say after the TV show. Oh no, I'm not using future. Future and the TV show will not be useful. Future and the movie, I'm not thinking about considering for now as mostly the future hasn't finished yet. Series future hasn't finished yet, and the movie, I feel there was not much fighting in that one, and I already did my review on it, so you can look back at that channel, look back for that review. If you want to just, but you want a quick version, I thought it was pretty good. I had problems with was the pacing, some of the characters getting in screen time, or even get solo saw, or even be a main character. I feel like and also being too extra. And Spress doesn't do much other than the opening and final fight scene. Yeah, she doesn't do much. So yeah, this is probably a version of that. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna say I'm gonna start before the final episode, obviously. Next is Shirley versus Connie. Yeah, I think that's our last name. Well, obviously, aside from that excuse being over, I am also going to say Connie is. I have seen a bit of Kaka Sakura, a fair bit of season 3, and I always see Shirley kind of not much of a swords guy in the show. Yeah, I always feel like he rarely uses a sword. Yeah, I always see him basically using it as more of a wand weapon of casting magic type instead of actually using it as an actual sword, instead of cutting things. And no, I'm not using the string feat. No, I'm not counting when he was controlled by strings. Obviously, I'm not counting that as a feat. Julia versus Lapis. Okay, before this, I feel too. No, obviously, yeah, I'm just gonna say it. I do feel like they're going to both control water, so why not? Both control water, both are themed around blue, and honestly, that should be it. They're both also female water protagonists, also like, I can think about any similarities on that. Anywho. Next is her, Kuya versus Danny Phantom. Also, funny thing. By the way, funny thing about the. I don't know how it goes. By the way, funny thing about this guy. Funny thing about something. Like, I remember looking up I remember when I was looking at some random fan art of what the Dan Infinity was Kamari Ghost. I saw a video, link to Butchman having a literal SH Figure Arts, I believe. Yeah, an SH Figure Arts version of Ghost, of Kamen Ghost given to him. I'm surprised, actually. Yeah, okay. No, as for why I don't feel like this fight, because Grateful and Mugen in Japanese is infinite Japanese. Tamashis are basically a much powerful. And while you can, if I can face a stronger form, those two forms you would literally die to. Next is Kanye versus Marco. And while I would think about maybe a standalone version, I would like to see a standalone version, both being companions and both being more companions to the main character and both fighting all together. Next is Garnet and the last one for the day will be Garnet versus W. Garnet versus W is one of those fights I wanted in the show. So, yeah, similar. Well, obviously, both are basically the 2-1 protagonists, both having some sort of more artificial combat. No, for this fight, I'm also gonna probably I'm gonna ask Garnet. I'm gonna go up to basically same like Steven and other Team Heroes characters. I'm going with after the TV show, but before the movie and future, because I don't feel like because I already talked about earlier, and movie it's and mainly because there's not a lot of fighting in the movie. I can use much of feats. Oh, and yeah, both are basically double on the other end. I'm gonna probably include all the forms. No, I'm gonna probably use after TV show, after the bonus episode, and not why sometime after the crossover episode. I'm also not including any feats from the Little Detectives, as that was never completed at the time. At the time of recording, it's not completed yet. From my knowledge, I don't know if that series can complete yet. So no Fang Trigger for this one. And with that, that's my list. That's my list of Death Battle for maybe season 7. So yeah, Happy New Year's! Bye!